Hello guys, welcome back to another training and review video on trading divergence with correlated pair. So today I'll be looking at some pairs, AUD USD and NZD USD, Euro USD, GBP USD, then gold and silver. So in my last video I did an explanation of one of the ways I trade this divergence with correlated pairs. Then I'm also going to share with us. So before I share with the setups I took this week with us, I want us to look at this just for a brief explanation. Now my trading time is at the London Open. Once London Open, I'll wait till this green box form for me to trade during the London section. So either immediately before the box or once the box is ended. Once price trade outside this box, I no longer take the trade. So from the time the session opens, as adjusted by me to suit the way I want to trade, right? So this may not be the exact time, but this is what I've adjusted for myself. So on the broker time here, this is 8 a.m. so that is 7 a.m. my time, that's Nigerian time. Then I'll stop taking trade at this point, that is around 10 a.m. the broker time, that is 9 a.m. Nigeria time. That is for the New York session. For London session, I'll start looking for my setup at the beginning of this box, which is 13:00 hours on the broker time, and that is around 12 noon Nigerian time. 12 noon Nigerian time. Then I'll stop taking trade at the end of this box, which is 16:00 hours the broker time, that's 15:00 hours in Nigeria time, that's around 3 p.m. Nigeria time, right? So let's look at the trade I took with this strategy this week. But before we go that, let's just do a review. As I said, it's just divergence with correlated pair, and I like taking my entries at not just at the rejection of this exponential moving average, that's 150 exponential moving average, but most of the time I take my entries at that point. Once I see a rejection at that point and I have confirmed the correlated divergence or divergence with a correlated pair, then I go for the entry. So on the 18th, which was Friday, yesterday, I got this setup. You can see this divergence here formed here on AUD USD. At that time I have this rejection from this moving average with this divergence form. Look at what happened on NZD USD. You can see price was creating a higher low here, and here price was creating a lower low while rejecting. So that is a divergence between the correlated pairs. So then I have to go for an entry here, then also go for an entry here, right? So that is it. Anytime it must be at this time. If it's not at this time, I'm not interested. Although here we have, look at this, after this box we'll see a lower low created here, from here a lower low here, and here we see have a higher low, which was a good one too, and that was even when price moved swiftly, you can see. So you can adjust it to suit the way you would like to trade it, right? Okay, let's go to the trades that I took this week on, starting from this AUD NZD. So that particular trade I was sharing with you, this is when it happened. That setup I was sharing, I was just looking at on the chart. This is when it happened. You can see this. So you have seen the clear divergence on the two correlated pairs, right? I am not saying that a divergence will form here. You're not going to see a divergence line here, then divergence line. No, I'm saying that when one of the pairs is creating a lower low, the other will be creating a higher low. That is when we see divergence. That's when we say there is divergence among the correlated pair, right? So this was when it formed. So naturally I'll take my entry. There are ways I take my entry. You can find a suitable way for yourself. As price close above the moving average, I can take my entry at this point for a buy. I can also go to 1 minute time frame to look for some confirmation, right? So let's see what happened here. So this was when we confirm the divergence, and at this time, price has moved. When I saw this, price has moved, right? So the best thing to do is to avoid this trade, or you wait for a pullback. If price may pull back to this other the fair value gap, then that will be a good entry. Price pull back to this fair value gap, a good entry. Price pull back to this last bearish candle, fine. So let's see what happened. So this is one of the ways I take entry on this. I will wait for price to break a trend line on the 1 minute time frame. So this is where price broke the trend line, and we have this huge fair value gap. Price pull back to retest it. So I can take my entry as far as price has broken the trend line and price is above the 150 exponential moving average on the 1 minute time frame, or I'll wait for a retest of this fair value gap, then take my entry, or I'll wait for price to possibly pull back to this level where I put this arrow, whichever one it is. So that is that. If trend line break, price close above the 150 on 1 minute time frame, I go ahead with the entry. This is for the correlated pair NZD/USD. You can see the trend line has been broken here, price close above the 150. So I can take my entry here. I'll wait for price to retest this fair value gap, then take my entry, or I possibly wait for price to pull back to this level where I put this arrow, then I take my entry. So at this point I took my entry here on the AUD/USD, but at this point this had moved far away, so I didn't take entry on NZD/USD at the initial time. So let's see what happened. So after that, when price pulled away, we see that price pulled back. So you see that place I was talking about. So at this point I took additional entry on the AUD/USD, and that was when I took my entry on the NZD/USD, because I saw a pullback and I was still in my trading zone, trading time. So let's see what happened. This is it. So this is when I took the entry on the NZD/USD. So price could get to this point, but at this point price has come to 50% of the pullback. So I took 2 entries here. Then what happened? Price dropped far below that, almost to the low, and pull up. This is what happened. I was in the profit. So this was my initial entry, and this is the last entry I took when price pulled back, right? Then I also want to let you know that once price is outside my entry, my trading zone, and I have not achieved my 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio in profit, I will close my first entry. The entry with a higher loss side, I will close it and leave the remaining one. So that is the way I plan it. That is my style. I must take my entry, I must take my profit, first profit, once price is outside this green box, even if it has not gotten to my 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. But most of the time, before price will come out of the box, I've gotten my 1 to 2, right? So let's see what happens. So at this time I've taken that 1 to 2, which was somewhere here. This is not the broker for the setup, this is the broker for my entry. So I took my first day profit somewhere here, and I left the second entry, which took me out at 8 pips. So for NZD/USD, I was still, the same thing happened. I took my first day profit as price closed outside the box. Okay, let's move forward. Yeah, so this was when I took my entry, took my first take profit on AUD USD as price closed outside the box, and the second one took me out. After taking me out, price pull up. So on the NZD USD here, this is as price closed outside the box, I took my first take profit and I left the remaining one. So on NZD USD, the remaining one was there, which I took here, and it continued up. And as you can see here, you see how price moved continuously throughout the London session, entering the New York section, right? So I just want to use this setup to explain into detail. This is another setup that happened on the 14th, which was Monday. You see, this is USD CAD and USD CHF. You can see this price created. So this is another way I take entry with the correlated pair divergence, right? Apart from taking from the moving average, I also take from highs and lows of the day. So this what happened. You can see that price created a higher high here, and at this point you can see somewhere here, at this point price created a lower low and a lower high, and here it's creating a high high. So that is correlated, that is divergence of correlated pairs. So I was waiting for price to break this structure, come back for a retest, and I take my entry, and this is what happened. So within the time of my entry, price didn't get to my entry zone. After that, price got there and dropped, but I didn't take it because it was already outside my entry time. So this also happened. This is another one that happened on silver against gold. You can see price broke this low, creating a lower low. And sorry, I didn't put the picture for the gold. Gold was creating a lower high, so I was waiting for price to take out this high. They come back for retest, and I take my entry. I think I shared this in the group. So you see, price took out this high, came back for the retest. This is my entry broker, and I took my entry at this point. And this was when price came for the retest after taking out the high. Price came back for retest. I took my entry, and that was this instant profit. My TP1 was cleared out, and I protected the remaining. Right, so that is one of the ways to another way, and some of the setup that happened this week. Let me share with us other setup as well. So this is gold and silver happening on the 14th. See what happened here. You can see that. So price creating lower low here, and price is creating a lower high, a higher low here. So that is divergence, and it's rejecting from the moving average. So I can go down to 1 minute time frame to look for where price will break the trend line and close above the 150 in 1 minute time frame. Then I take my entry. So you can see this massive move. So once price is outside this box, I close my first take profit. If it does not give it my 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, you can see that. This is another one. Okay, I was expecting this is AUD USD and NZD USD. I was expecting price to hit the 150 for me to buy, as I saw the divergence here. So this is a higher low, and this is a lower low. So at this point, so there was divergence here. So but price didn't touch the 50 and before moving up. I missed that. Same thing happened on Euro USD and GBP USD. Then this is gold. I think that's this is no Euro USD and GBP USD on the 14th, same 14th. You can see price creating a lower low here, and price is creating a higher low here. So price refused to create a lower low, let's put it that way. So that's the correlated divergence, and it's rejecting from the 50 and in my box. Powerful entry from here and instant profit, you can see. So you can go through this set of this video again and again and practice it. If it suits your psychology or your way of trading, you can adopt it, and that is it. Please, if this video is profitable to you, please do well to give it a thumbs up. Please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel if you have not done that, then click on the notification bell so that you'll be alerted anytime I upload a new video. Please do well to use this weekend to study and practice, and I wish you all the best as we enter the new week. Thank you, and God bless you.